They say space is empty, but Rudolf Steiner disagrees. They say it's silent, he says it sings, if you could hear. They call it a vacuum, he called it a vessel. Structured, conscious, sacred. Science says you are on a rock, spinning in a cold abyss, one of billions. Steiner said you are the axis around which the cosmos forms meaning. You don't move through space, you generate it. You call it into form with perception. Your thoughts bend it, your presence orders it. He said space is directional, qualitative. Up isn't just up, it's the gateway to higher realms. Down isn't just gravity, it's descent into density. The center is the I, the true self that holds space together from within. This wasn't a metaphor, this was a cosmology. Steiner said, space is not merely three-dimensional, it is the expression of spiritual activity. He described space as the result of spiritual beings working in harmony, like architecture built from living intention. He taught that the etheric world surrounds and penetrates everything. A formative force. Angels and archangels literally construct the scaffolding of space and time. The astral body and the ego interact with this space dynamically. It is shaped by moral quality, not just mass. Your awareness localizes spirit. Space arises as a consequence of consciousness, not the other way around. In the etheric body, he warned us that as material science advanced, it would attempt to erase the reality of this spiritual scaffolding. He said modern physics would become a shell, brilliant in precision, but dead in meaning. And here we are. The lie isn't just that space is empty. The lie is that you don't matter in it. That it exists without you. That it's indifferent. That it's dark and cold and meaningless. That cosmic scale proves your insignificance. But Steiner said the opposite. He said that you are a vertical being standing at the center of worlds. Your choices echo through dimensions. Your morality reshapes energy. Your breath affects the ether. Space is not neutral, it's participatory. And when you treat it like dead matter, you become programmable. You give up the throne, you hand over authorship. He also warned us, a time will come when people will say spirit is hallucination and the physical is the only truth. When that happens, humanity will forget itself. Now look around. The space around us is filled with signals, wires, EMFs, satellites, dissonant frequency. And none of it honors the structure we were meant to perceive. They replaced ether with Wi-Fi, astrality with screen light, center with distraction. So yeah, go ahead, say space is empty, but understand that belief is a spell, and it's working, because the moment you forget the sacred, they can sell you synthetic, replace being with branding, replace connection with content, replace soul with code. And if you want to unplug from this matrix, it starts here, not with rebellion, not with conspiracy, but with reverence, because once you remember that space is sacred, you'll stop living like you're disposable. You'll start choosing like your choices ripple. You'll stop being an object and start being a force. At least that's what Steiner tried to tell us, and they've been burying him ever since. But now you know. And once you know, you can't unknow. This man wasn't some wandering mystic. He wasn't doing mushrooms in the forest. He founded entire schools, medical systems, biodynamic agriculture. A new way of learning and thinking, a new way of being human. And he said straight up, there are forces working to prevent the soul from remembering itself. That sickness, confusion, fragmentation, it's not random, it's engineered. Spiritual amnesia is the product. A population that forgets its origin is easy to program. And you know what's wild? He said that in the early 1900s, before smartphones, before digital dopamine, before global surveillance was a Wi-Fi signal in your pocket. So if Steiner's right, and I think he is, then unplugging isn't optional, it's urgent. Because what we call reality is increasingly a synthetic construct. And no, I'm not talking about AI just yet. I'm talking about belief, culture, normal life. What's pushed as real is often what's most artificial. He warned us about materialism, soulless science, medicine without spirit, about the war on the etheric body, the subtle architecture of our life force. He wasn't being poetic, he was being surgical. They want the human being digitized, atomized, separated from the cosmic rhythm and internal truth. That's why everything feels off, even when it looks okay. The system is built to reward you for disconnecting from your essence and punish you for remembering. And the tragedy, most people don't even know they've already said yes. To the illusion, to the control, to becoming a cog in something they never designed. Steiner said this age would bring a medicine, a substance that would drive the soul out of the body. Look around, it's not just injections, it's ideologies, it's screens, it's content. Pressure to perform instead of be. So what's the answer? Reclaim the inner world. That's the only revolution that matters. Because if they control your inner space, they don't need chains. They've got your attention, your reaction, your will. You want to unplug from the matrix? Start by remembering that your breath is sacred, your thoughts are electric, your body's the altar, and your consciousness is the last battlefield. This is the real work. Steiner wasn't building a movement, he was issuing a warning. And if you're still watching this, it's because some part of you remembers. So yeah, if Rudolf Steiner says it's true, maybe it's time we stop calling it conspiracy and start calling it what it is. A wake-up call. Humanfluence, out.